And welcome back to Long Island Viewpoint. I'm Ken Rosato. Most of today's life insurance applicants are men between the ages of 35 and 55. Perhaps this is because many women don't think they need life insurance. They think it's too expensive or that the process is too time-consuming. Unfortunately, those reasons are often no longer valid, and women need life insurance just as much as men do, if not more. Please join me in welcoming Brian Greenberg, the founder and CEO of True Blue Life Insurance. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Ken.
Well, why do women need life insurance?
Well, many reasons. The same reasons that men need life insurance. So whether they're starting a family and they have dependents, or they're taking out a loan and they're a co-signer, or they're doing estate planning. And whether we're talking about women who earn a wage, or single moms, or stay-at-home moms, they all need life insurance. The problem is, like you said, most of the policies we issue are for men. And when we do speak with women, more often than not, they're looking to get life insurance on their husbands and not themselves.
And, all right, so why don't they? I mean, we touched on it a little bit, so why don't they? They feel it's just too expensive. If they start young, especially if you have a young couple and they lock into a term life insurance, I sound like I'm selling it now, only because I'm at that age. I'm 49, so I got my life insurance recently. So I kind of know just from having, he was saying, I wanted to sell you a policy. But only because I know that if you lock in when you're 20-something, you can get a really cheap monthly rate, whereas if you wait or you just put it off, then it gets really expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Term life insurance is very inexpensive. Now, the problem is most people overestimate it. So there was a study done by LIMRA, the Life Insurance Marketing and Research Association, and they find that 80% of people greatly overestimate the cost of term life insurance by 2 to 3 times the cost that it actually is.
Oh, you want to give people some hints, some ranges? No, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that either. He wants people to call. No, but isn't it also in many cases less expensive for women than for men?
Yes, it is. It's actually about 10 to 15% less for women to get life insurance, primarily because it's based on average life expectancy, and women tend to live 5 years longer than men. Also, they can get better rates for longer because they develop health conditions later in life, such as heart disease or stroke. So oftentimes we'll write the husband, and then we'll go back and we'll write the wife for less money. We could even get a spousal discount in most cases for about an additional $5 off a month.
Now, there are 2 types of life insurance. You have term and you have whole life insurance, correct?
Correct.
And some people say right away, oh, you're wasting your money with term. It's nonsense. But there are actually times where term makes more sense depending on where you are in life and at what point you expect you won't need that money anymore if your mortgage is paid off, etc. So can you go into the details of when it's better for one or the other?
Well, we believe that the purpose of insurance is to protect those that you care about, so you can sleep better at night. So we always want to get people the most amount of coverage for the longest period of time. Now, these permanent policies, they cost 20 times more than the equal amount you can get in term life insurance. So we always go by the adage, buy term and invest the difference.
So if you say, for instance, you're going to spend, let's just hypothetically say $50 a month for term. Just say that would be for somebody very young and very good shape, etc. $50 a month in term. If you were to get whole life, it might cost you $250 a month, just throwing out a number there. But at the end of that term, the whole life rather, you would then get $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 in the bank, in essence, from your life insurance policy that you can get back, whereas in term, you don't get anything back. If you survive that amount of time, you're done, correct?
That is correct. The problem is having to pay that additional premium for so long, especially for families that are on tight budgets. So that's why we recommend term. In fact, we also sell no medical exam term life insurance. You don't even need to take a medical exam to get it.
And that's a little bit more expensive, I would imagine.
It used to be more expensive. It used to be about 30 to 50% more expensive, although in the past year and a half, it's come down dramatically, and it's about equal in cost, if not 5 to 10% more.
That's almost ridiculous. It makes me want to get another policy. Uh-oh, his eyes perked up. Now, I got chuckles in the background here. Now, men tend to buy 35 to 55. At what age do most women tend to buy insurance, when they do?
If you're a young woman and you don't have a family, you don't have debt, you don't need life insurance. But when you start a family, when you have dependents, that's the time that you should start looking at life insurance. We always do recommend you get insurance when you're healthy, though, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to cost.
Yeah, if you own a home or condo and you don't have anyone to leave it to, or even if you do have, especially if you do have somebody to leave it to, you don't want to saddle them with the debt or the prospect of losing that home. So this is something that would protect them in the event something happens to you.
Absolutely. One thing that comes up with women is oftentimes they think they may not qualify for life insurance because they don't have an income. But I want to say it's based on household income. So if the husband can qualify for $2 million of insurance, the wife can qualify for $2 million in insurance as well. And even in the case of a single mom may not have a lot of income, you can still get a term policy for $100,000 to $200,000.
And isn't there also insurance for children as well, in case something would happen to the children?
There is. It's something you may want to look at. It's pretty inexpensive, and when the child reaches, I think, 18 years of age, you have the option to convert it into a term policy.
So there you go. So you could, and I'm sure if you buy insurance for the whole family at once, it is you have discounts basically, right, for the whole family?
Some companies do have discounts. That's correct.
Okay, and you know, at this point, I know a lot of people are reticent. Probably the last thing, in fact, there is one of the commercials for one of the companies, I won't mention which, that when the husband and wife are at the breakfast table, they say, aren't we going to talk about our life insurance today? And then they do everything they can not to talk about it. It's something no one wants to talk about because it's the prospect of dying.
Right.
So they all want to put it off. But how do people start the conversation?
You know, there's always certain triggers that we find. So the triggers are when you start a family, obviously, when you change a job, when your health condition changes, or when they know somebody close to them that died. Those are all times that people actually begin shopping for life insurance.
So make an appointment, not before you even make an appointment with an insurance agent, make an appointment with your spouse, sit down, have the conversation, figure out the realities. We have $400,000 in house debt, we have $20,000, $40,000 in car debt, and we have 2 kids who want to go to college. Let's figure out how we're going to pay for this in case something happens to one of us. Not bad. Should I be an insurance agent?
You were pretty good, Ken.
All right. Only because I've been through the process recently. Brian Greenberg, thank you so much for being part of this discussion today. It is, I've been poking a little bit of fun, but it is very, very important, and it's good advice you had today. Good to have you on.